Wow, so I just got home from an amazing coaching event in Phoenix, Arizona, the coaching program I'm in with. I have amazing coaches like Russell Brunson, Steve Larson, Julie Stoyan, Myron Golden, as well as all the other coaches in the program. And I learned so much, guys and gals out there listening right now. So much, so many golden nuggets that I'm probably going to do the next 4 or 5 podcasts just on the things I learned to share with you all, because I think it's very important. This is high level stuff broken down in a way that you can put it into your business today as an entrepreneur and see a huge impact. So today we're going to start with the awesome Myron Golden. Amazing guy. Go check him out if you haven't. That alone is worth just the amount of time you've already given this podcast. But Myron Golden taught us about content, and today I'm going to go over three bullet points that you can implement right now. Good content defined in 3 bullet points. It's going to change your content, have your audience loving you, having that same audience getting a huge impact from you, and having them buy from you over and over again. So take the time to listen right now. You're not going to regret it. Appreciate each and every one of you. See you on the other side.
I spent the last few years building a successful online business while learning from some of the most brilliant marketing minds and coaches on the planet. And now, I've walked away from that business to start over again from scratch. Why? Because, like you, I felt the calling of contribution and the all-consuming need to create a business giving me the freedom to put fatherhood and family first, while fulfilling my calling to share my expertise in order to serve and impact others in a positive way. Join me now as we walk the path together to create the life and business of our dreams. I'm Evans Putman. Welcome to the journey of the profitable, purposeful entrepreneur.
Hey, what's up, profitable, purposeful entrepreneurs? Sorry, I got my words a little mixed up there, but I'm a little bit excited. I'm still on a very big high. I just got back from the 2 Comma Club X coaching event that was at Phoenix, Arizona. And I think I mentioned this in the previous podcast, but if I didn't, let me just explain real quick, give you a quick backstory. This is a coaching program that I've now been in for going on my 2nd year. Last year I did it in my previous business with my business partner. We saw a huge, immense amount of success. And as you know the story now from listening to this podcast, I've left that business to start over again from scratch. And this program is amazing, and it's really helping me, give me the know-how, the skills, the momentum to move forward on this journey, and the journey that I'm sharing with you all. So some of the stuff I'm getting ready to share with you right now was something I learned, just one little tiny snippet of what I learned this weekend. Now, in this 2 Comma Club X program, our coaches are people like Russell Brunson, the founder of ClickFunnels, who I'm sure you have probably heard of. If you haven't, go look him up. Go buy Expert Secrets and .com Secrets. Those are going to be 2 books that are going to give you an amazing amount of know-how and help you be successful as an entrepreneur. So Russell Brunson is one of our coaches. He's the founder of the program, founder of ClickFunnels. We have people like Steve Larson, amazing guy. Julie Stoyan also is amazing. I could just say amazing after everybody's name. And I'm sure that there are others that I'm missing because my brain is a little bit going crazy and I'm on a different time zone than I was just a few days ago. But today I'm going to talk about the information that Myron Golden gave us. I want to share that with you today because this is very pertinent, especially if you were just starting your journey, or even if you are farther down the road on your journey as an entrepreneur. You know you need to publish, right? You need to publish content. That's exactly what I'm doing. And as I told you in the intro, you know that I am just learning new stuff and sharing that stuff with you. For lack of better terms, stuff, that covers everything, of course. So that's what I'm doing, is sharing with you my journey, what I'm learning, because this is information that can help you, and especially when it comes from people who are multi-million-dollar entrepreneurs. And as we know, as a profitable, purposeful entrepreneur, it's not about the money, it's really about the people that you serve. But in order to serve those people at the highest level, you have got to make money. That money supports you, your family, and your cause, and helps you make an infinite impact. Okay, so just to touch on that, let me just give you a quote from Myron. Actually, this is one thing that I was getting ready to post this on Instagram, and that's what's actually started this whole podcast. I opened up my notes looking for that quote, and then I saw this awesome information. I was like, I got to share this with my podcast audience. So here's the quote from Myron. Love the people and use the money. Don't use the people and love the money. That could be like a t-shirt for all of us as profitable, purposeful entrepreneurs. Let me repeat that again. Love the people and use the money. Don't use the people and love the money. Please write that out, put it over your desk, put it up there, because we are here to serve others and use that money to further serve others and impact our family as well. So awesome stuff from Myron as usual. So let me jump right into this. We're going to talk about, here's what his presentation was on. I'm just going to give you a little snippet right now, and I'll probably share some more of it later. But he talked to us about how he creates his amazing content and how he does it in a way that doesn't take, a lot of his time, how he can batch it and get it out there. But here's one of the things that we talked about, right? Great content that you put out, whether it's on a podcast, Facebook Live, blog post, whatever you love doing, YouTube, I would suggest finding a way to do them all. And I actually share that just real quick. I'm going to pitch something to you guys because I know this is valuable. But if you go to onepodcastaway.com/secret, onepodcastaway.com, that's the word one, O-N-E, podcastaway.com/secret, I actually share, I'm giving this away for free. In fact, I'm getting ready to give away all this content for free, but I'm giving away one big chunk of it for free right now that shows you exactly how to get your content from one source. Maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's a video, maybe it's a blog post, whatever you do, but turn that into multiple amounts of content so you can get it out there quickly. And do this as a one-person entrepreneur, not necessarily with a team. When you have a team, you can really get the snowball rolling, but this is stuff that we did in our last business that was immensely successful in growing our podcast from being stuck at 30,000 downloads a month to within 2 months, we were at 75,000 plus. And we eventually, another 6 months or so, took that to 150,000 plus every month on average. So I know it works. It's worked before, and it fits right into the theme of what we're talking about today, okay? Because your great content that you're going to create, it's going to convert your your cold traffic, to warm traffic, okay? It warms up your audience. It gets them used to you. It makes them start to trust you. Believe me, I know from experience in our last business, this works immensely well. Just be yourself. Be your authentic self. Share your content, okay? Great content also makes you feel good. So make sure when you're sharing this content, whether it's to cold traffic, warm traffic, or hot traffic, make sure it makes them, invokes a feeling, okay? It doesn't have to be like emotional, but you want to tell stories within your content to make sure that those stories invoke feelings. Okay, so like I said, great content converts cold traffic to warm traffic. It's going to convert warm traffic to hot traffic, and it's going to take your hot traffic to nuclear traffic, to where they are just hyperactive buyers buying everything you put out there in front of them. Once again, I have experience from this. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just letting you know that this is truth. When I heard Myron say it, it just came back and reminded me again, this is truth that he's sharing, because you ask any entrepreneur that's successful, that publishes, and they will tell you how important that content is. It's something that you own, your online real estate, and you need to start publishing, whether it's blog posts, YouTube, podcasts. I suggest podcasts. But we can get into that another day. But podcasts are really an amazing way to do this. So here's what I want to go into real quickly. Something else he shared. Good content defined. Okay, good content defined. Number one, have something good to say. Have something good to say. Right? And here's the thing. I want to give you another quote that he gave us. Just like boom, blew my mind, but it totally makes sense. If you're going to have something good to say, this is very important. I will never be a powerful teacher until I become a prolific learner. Okay? I will never be a powerful teacher until I become a prolific learner. You must learn all the time. Part of my morning routine, and this is something I'll share with you, it doesn't have to be massive amounts of learning, but as part of my morning routine, 10 minutes minimum are devoted to reading. Just 10 minutes. And believe me, in that little 10-minute window, I usually pick up one or two amazing bits and pieces of knowledge that up my game as an entrepreneur, as a person, whatever it is, as a better father, as a better mother. Obviously, I'm not a mother, but you get what I'm saying here, right? So I will never become a powerful teacher until I become a prolific learner. One of the most important things to do, learn all the time, because that's going to allow you to have something good to say, something valuable for your audience. Number two, say it well. This is something that I'm working on really, really hard because, and you'll understand this in a minute, because this is the way maybe because I was raised. My mother told stories, and my mother rambles, and her stories seem to go on and on. They start with a point, and they start here with an laser focus. She's got something to tell you, and then it slowly starts going into these other stories, and it turns out to this long ramble, and by the time you get to the end of it, you forgot what the point was. And I'm not saying that my mother's wonderful. Tomorrow is her birthday, actually. Just a couple of days ago, it was Mother's Day. We're from the South, so we tell stories. That's the way she was raised. We tell long, rambling stories, and often we talk slow, which makes them seem even longer. So this is one of my weaknesses, and maybe it's not a weakness. I wouldn't say it's a weakness. I would just say that I can make it better. Okay, so number two of good content defined, say it well. How do you do that? How do you say it well? Well, here it is. Number one, stop being a rambler. Okay. Number two, use the smallest number of words possible and speak at the lowest grade level possible. You do not have to feel like you're using these ridiculously big words. Pull out your thesaurus online and start finding a word. You have a simple word that you could use, and instead you find like the word with like 4 or 5 syllables where you can knock it down to 1 syllable just to make yourself seem smarter. Your audience doesn't want that. Okay, and you need to remember who your audience is. This isn't about you, it's about your audience. So, stop being a rambler, use smallest number of words possible, and speak at the lowest grade level possible. Okay, so that basically means just say, just use simple structured sentences. I remember a book I read once, it was called Write Tight, and it taught you to pull out all the extra words that you didn't need and how to shrink your sentences down so that they were more impactful, easier to remember, easier to read for your audience. This is something I learned back in my copywriting days. So instead of write tight, you could say speak tight. Short sentences, lowest grade level possible, stop being a rambler, okay? So that's number one and number two. Let's go back and go over them again real quick just so you remember. Number one, have something good to say. How are you going to do that? Just tell yourself this: I will never become a powerful teacher until I become a prolific learner. Okay? Number two, say it well. How are we going to do that? 1, stop being a rambler. 2, use smallest number of words possible and speak at the lowest grade level possible. And number 3, now this one pretty much sums it up for itself. Say it often. Okay, say it often. What does that mean? That could mean a number of things, but for me what it means is be regular with your content. Get it out there on a regular basis. You should try to publish something daily. And I know this may seem overwhelming when you're trying to build a business as an entrepreneur. I understand that. I've been there. I've been through it in many different levels. And I'm going through it again with you right now. I do not have a team. Right now, I did get somebody on Fiverr who edited a testimonial video for me that you will see on the onepodcastaway.com/secret. You'll see that on there, this amazing testimonial that I got from my past business partner. So I've had a Fiverr person edit, I think, 2 videos for me now. That's my team going forward. So I don't have a regular team, but I'm glad I've found somebody that can help me with videos. So the point is that you can publish every day. One of the key ways to do it, there's 2 key ways. Okay, so let's go back. Number 3 is say it often. So here's how you can do it, just to put the mindset in your mind real quick. 1, batch your content. I know Steve Larson, one of our amazing coaches, he says that every Tuesday is content day. It's when he gets interviewed for podcasts, it's when he schedules them, and it's also when he sits down and videotapes a lot of his podcasts. It's when he does a lot of his content because it puts him in that mode. And this is one thing I remember about writing. When I wrote for clients back when I was a copywriter, one thing that I did was I told them, I was like, hey, if you want me to write, 5 articles for you over the next month, here's how I can do it much quicker and save you money. Yes, I always told people how I could save them money because it always had them coming back and buying from me over and over again. And I wasn't just making this up. But I told them, I said, hey, if you want me to do 5 articles or 5 blog posts or 5 web pages that you have coming up over the next month, instead of sending me something each week and asking me to do one of them, let's go ahead and plan it out now. Give me all 5 of them right now, all 5 of the topics. Give me what you want for the deliverables, how long you want them to be, etc., how many words. Because once I sit down and start getting into that groove, after about number 1 will be a little slower, then number 2 it's going to speed up, and then 3, 4, 5 I'm in that zone. I'm going to be knocking that content out for you, and it's going to be a lot faster. It's going to be a lot more higher quality because I'm going to be into that groove of only focused on your subject matter, and it's going to save you money. Okay, so batch your content. That's number 1. Number 2, repurpose your content. And this is very important. Like I'll just tell you before, this is what we did. I'm going to go in and give you some tips from what we did with our podcast before and how we grew it so quickly. You'll get more in-depth info in this if you go to onepodcastaway.com // I was told secret, and get that free training. But here's what it is in essence, is that we recorded a podcast, video podcast, took that audio from the video podcast, threw it up on Libsyn, took the video, threw it on YouTube, used a software to get a transcription of that content, put that into blog posts, which we spread out all across, and then we had like a little secret strategy where we embedded our podcast into those blog posts. But I'm going to show you in this free stuff I'm giving you away online, I'm going to actually show you how you can reach out to these people and convince them to let you put your podcast on their content pages. It's very important. So people don't have to go to your site to listen to it. You start putting your podcast all over the place, not just on podcast directories, but on content pages. This is big. So you're repurposing that content everywhere. Okay. And also, if you have guests on your podcast, which you're interviewing guests, how you can quickly and easily give them that same information and have them spread your podcast for you. So you're repurposing it in not only different locations across the online world, but you're also repurposing it in different formats: video, audio, written. Okay, and then you're going to also take that and turn it into quotes, so images to share on social media, video snippets to share on social media, audio snippets to share on social media, all from one podcast. And there's a simple way to do this where you don't have to have a team. Like I said, this is something that I was doing initially by myself until I hired a team through my last business. So I know it can be done. Okay, so let's go quickly through these again one time because I've probably been rambling. I've probably broken the rule number 2. But Myron Golden, the awesome Myron Golden, go check him out. Find out more about him. I promise you, if you take anything away from this podcast, go start following Myron Golden. That's going to be $50,000 worth of value right there in that little snippet I just gave you easily. So here's what Myron says about good content. Good content defined is 1, have something good to say. You do that by becoming a powerful teacher, by becoming a prolific learner. Okay. Number 2, say it well. How do you do that? You do that by stopping being a rambler, one of my weaknesses, and also using the smallest number of words possible and speaking at the lowest grade level possible to make your content clear, understandable, digestible to your audience, okay? Finally, number 3, say it often. How do you do that? You do that by batching your content, okay? Doing it all at once so that you get into a groove and you can just start whipping them out. Podcasts, whipping them out. Videos, whipping them out. Number 2, you do it by repurposing that content. Okay, so I'm not going to ramble anymore. I'm going to stop right there because I think if you take that information, you're going to be able to start publishing some amazing content and getting it out there and start building a massive audience that's going to love you. Okay, love you. Cold traffic to warm traffic to hot traffic to nuclear traffic, buying all your stuff, making a huge impact, serving others. Remember, love the people and use the money. Use the people and love the money. That's all I have to say for you all today. I appreciate you. And please, if you do get a chance, I would say this is absolutely free. There's no tricks or anything. Just go to onepodcastaway.com/secret and grab that free momentum training that I put in there. And then also you'll learn how to get the free training on how to market and build a massive email list and how to monetize, which we did in our last business. We monetized our podcast to $500,000. Watch the testimonial video on there, the case study video that Pat, my former partner, did. His podcast is Pat Hyben's Real Estate Rockstar Radio. If you're in the real estate business, go check it out. But I appreciate every one of you following Myron's advice. I'm going to stop rambling right now. That's the second time I've told you. Make it a great day. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's enjoy this journey together. Hey, all my podcasting entrepreneur friends, this is Evans. Listen, I got a question for you guys. What is the big result you want with your podcast? It could be many answers. Is it to rapidly increase your subscribers? Do you want to attract top tier guests, the biggest names in your industries? Maybe you want to grow a large, engaged marketing list, an email list, Facebook Messenger list, maybe a Facebook group that is full of people who eagerly await you to come out with new offers so they can snatch them up because they know and trust you, right? Maybe it's you just want your podcast to deliver predictable income and profits without having to run ads from other companies. Well, here's the thing. The last company I was involved in, the one that I left right before coming here, I was in charge of growing that podcast and coming up with strategies just like those that delivered results just like those. We quickly got to over 4 million downloads. We averaged 150,000 plus downloads a month. And that all started at being stagnant at around 30,000 downloads and had been there for like 6 months. So we quickly grew that subscriber base. Once we did that, we were able to leverage that to get people like Grant Cardone, Robert Kiyosaki, Dean Graziosi, Barbara Corcoran, John Lee Dumas, Hal Elrod. Those are some of the people I know off the top of my head that were on the podcast. And what's even more important is we were able to then creatively come up with assets that we didn't even have to spend money and time to create, and use those assets to be able to build a marketing list in both emails, Facebook Messenger, and a massively engaged Facebook group. Okay, and these things were full of our listeners, people that trusted us, they loved us, they became customers. They were hyperactive buyers is what we like to call them, because when they bought again and again and again, all your upsells, all your downsells, everything you were selling practically. And the awesome thing is that we were able to turn this into predictable, profitable income. Over 500 grand in revenue from the podcast. And we didn't run any Facebook ads. We didn't have to spend any money on ads. We didn't have any outside companies placing ads in our podcast. This was all our profits and all true to our vision with our listeners. So I put together an awesome course on this. I'm building it right now, but you can go get on the wait list and get one of the biggest, most important modules for free. I just want you guys to have that as long as you get on the wait list. It'll be launching it is launching the week of May 20th. So go on and go there right now. It's onepodcastaway.com. ONE podcastaway.com, where you can learn more, watch a testimonial from Pat, my former business partner, about how we grew his podcast, and just learn more about what's offered in this waiting list offer. This is a limited offer for just a few people who come over there and get on it in the next couple of weeks, because at that point we'll be launching the full course. But I want to make sure that I take care of you guys first and wanted to let you all know about it. So onepodcastaway.com. Go check it out. Shoot me a message if you have any questions. Come into the Facebook group. Find me online on Facebook. You can always email me at evans@onepodcastaway.com if you have any questions about the course, anything at all. I look forward to helping you guys grow your podcast and making money from your podcast for your business. Thanks a lot. Peace. Have a great day.